All right, before we actually get started with our authentication code, I'm just going to do a quick cleanup here. We're going to delete this. You've done this probably a few times by now. Title, exploration 4. Take this stuff out. Close that. Body, okay, layout is cleaned up. Page module CSS. Goodbye. Div to div. Goodbye. Hello world. Take this out. Take this stuff out. The other thing we can do is delete everything in the public folder as well. We're not using that anymore. And I believe we're cleaned up now. We can npm run dev. And then we open localhost 3000 and we're hello world. No editing, no issues. Okay, we're good. So we're in a good spot here. Now, for authentication, what I want to do is look through the is it API docs? I might have to go back to the main docs. I think it's actually, is it guides? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So click guides, that gets us Supabase docs. We click auth. And then we're gonna look at the flow for server-side rendering, I believe, and then click Next.js. And this is gonna give us all of our instructions here that we need to do. We already have the environmental local set up. I hope you did that last time. We need to install Supabase, so we'll click this. I'm gonna go over and click plus and add a new terminal here. And just paste that in. Installed, good. We got all these keys and stuff. We don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, then it has a bunch of files that we need to create. So the first one is utils supabase client.ts. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do that inside of source, new folder utils, new folder supabase, and then inside of there, new file client.ts. And then we paste this in. So these are the environmental variables. These are in my .env.local already. And then we create another one in the same folder called server.ts, and then we paste this into here. And basically this allows us two different ways of accessing our tables, our authentication, everything. We can do it from the client side or we can do it from the server side. Actually, we're primarily going to do it from the client side, which is kind of weird, I know, because it will expose API keys technically. However, because of our policy, it's actually not a problem if people have our API keys. It won't do anything because they have to, you know, they can't do anything with it without being authenticated because of the RLS policy. Middleware. Okay, so we're going to create middleware. This has to be in our source directory here. So you have to have it in this specific thing. If you don't have a source folder, it has to be at the top level of your project. If you do have a source folder, it has to be right here. This is something that Next is going to look for. And middleware will run in between the client and the server. So this is going to handle ensuring that our session is maintained with our user. So we have to also create this one, util supabase middleware. So same folder as before, called middleware.ts, and then we paste that here. And then this one should update. Suppose you just do that and then it figures it out. Okay. So this middleware is going to call this update session function, which is located in the other middleware file. And basically, this is just verifying that it's getting the user. It's trying to get the user based on the session. Then it's also seeing if there is no user, and the path name doesn't start with login and doesn't start with auth and doesn't start with error, then it will redirect it to login. That means that if I try to go to the home page and I'm not logged in, it's going to kick me automatically to the login page. And it's not going to do a redirect request. It's just going to automatically do that before anything's returned. Actually, no, it will do a redirect request. Sorry. It won't load anything and then kick me over. It'll do it with like a 302 redirect status code and automatically kick me over. So there's no response from the original page other than a redirect response, which I guess is a response. So this is the middleware. I'm just following what this says. And then it has some initial, like how to log in, how to sign in, all these actions and stuff. So let's go ahead and create this app login page here. So inside of app, we're going to create a new folder called login. Inside of there, we're going to create page.tsx. And then I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. And then inside of here, I'm going to create another file called actions inside of the same folder, actions.ts. Then we'll copy and paste this. And this is just giving me the sign up and login actions. And then it wants me to set up an error page, which that's fine. So we'll create a new folder called error, new file called page.tsx. Here, let's go ahead and fix this. I think it's just the same thing where for some reason I have to retype it so it figures out that it's there now. So I have this login page now, and it has, it's very, very basic. Let's see what that looks like. So look at this. So if I try to go to my home page now, it automatically kicks me over to the login page. This is what that middleware is doing. So I hit the request, and you can see it has a 307 status, which is one of the redirect statuses. And it's just kicking me over to login. And it's doing that because there's no user found, essentially. So let's sign up real quick. And I'm actually going to pull my email off to the other side here. Okay. And I'm going to click sign up. Right now, it's a very bad page that we have. And then when I click, I just got an email, Supabase authentication. Can't really show it well. Can I pop it out? Yeah, it's okay. Just go to your email and click, it'll have a thing that says confirm your mail. And I click confirm, and then it actually just sends me back to the home page in that window. So if we go now back to our Supabase and we look at our authentication table, look at that. Now we have our user here. It's got a UID, an email. It says provider email. It says created at. The rest of the stuff is blank, and that's fine. If I go over to my table editor and look at my profiles, it actually created a profile as well. It left everything blank except for the UID, but now we have that profile entry, which is awesome because we don't need to set up any logic in our code to automatically do that. It's already done. So we have a profile table. We have our auth. And now if I go back here and I sign in, log in, now I'm able to, it returned me back to the home page. I'm able to go to any page on my website.